What's the weirdest thing your son or daughter's friend did when they stayed over? 1. This happened when I was a child myself, but it was a friend of my younger sister who was staying over at the time. She was a girl from a few houses down, and stayed over on Friday nights every so often. This girl seemed normal enough, not a screamer or crier or smelly at all, so you can imagine my surprise waking on Saturday morning to find her ambling out of the crawl space in the basement, wiping crumbs from her mouth. She ran off to my sister's room without a word. I would later find an empty bread bag in the crawl space, and a loaf missing from the deep freeze in the basement. 2. Friend's kid stayed over, went to the bathroom and kept yelling, "I need some privacy." Strange kid. 3. My son's friend, a 17-year-old boy named Kim, was always the proper and well-mannered type, to such an extent that it made him seem strange. One Saturday night, I arrived home from an outing, and the first thing I see when I walk in the door is Kim wearing a Scooby-Doo costume that was 3 sizes too small. He was crawling around my living room on his hands and knees while trying to speak like Scooby. He then saw me and tried to play it off, but I soon learned that Kim, my son, and the other friends were all on something. What I witnessed, I had to be sure that I wasn't the one hallucinating. 4. New Year's Eve. Let our teenage daughter and friends have one tiny sip of champagne at midnight toast. Fast forward an hour later and my daughter tells me her friend is passed out. I go to her room and check on the girl, who is obviously faking it. After several minutes of her pretending to be passed out while I tried to wake her, I stood at the foot of the bed and told her she had 30 seconds to stand up and declare that she was fine or I was calling an ambulance, police and her mother. She stood up, said she was fine, looked at me like, "What's the big deal?" Either way, she did not sneak anything else. She was simply doing it for attention. 5. No kids, but my cousin had a friend stay over. Cousin is 21, her friend is about the same age, I didn't ask. Cousin's friend lets people know she is hungry by meowing.